Welcome to April's Garage. There has recently been a pretty crazy, wild JDM auction that Tyler has been drooling over, but it is really cool to see these cars.
Well, it's cool, but it's weird. Yeah, Japan. It's in Japan. It's called the Bingo auctions.
Yes.
And it is very weird what they were doing. I saw it pop up on my little auction tracker.
They follow
and was
you,
just following through, just looking at their social media and things. And the Japanese do a lot of things differently. Like their wholesale auctions are much more like online auctions,
right?
Where you're clicking, and they had computer banks. Even before online bidding, they didn't have an auctioneer going up, sold.
That's what I want to hear.
People waving their
Japanese,
hands and blowing whistles and all that
voice.
stuff. Very different. It's just people sitting in a bank of computers and clicking buttons. And you see the price going up, and then they warn them, and then it's gone. So the auctions for a collector car in Japan are obviously very different than what we would have in the U.S.
Probably a lot more relaxing, not to have that auctioneer song going on, like high-pitched rambling in the background all the time.
Yes, and so they recently had their JDM collector sale in Japan, and a lot of these cars I have never seen before, but certainly think they're cool.
What?
Like,
what?
Some of them I've never seen before.
What?
Like, I've seen photos of them but never seen in person, so I still have not seen them in person. But, yeah, the yen thing's a little difficult to get over. The Japanese yen, like 10 million yen equals about like $60,000.
Poor Jake.
So Jake's, he's got to do the math again, and he's rubbing his temples and frustrated that he has to do math for all of these cars. But there weren't a lot of cars at the sale to begin with. There was like 30 or so cars, but they do like 4 or 5 auctions a year, this bingo auction.
Right.
And yeah, some cool stuff. There was some that didn't sell. Everything, I guess, had a reserve. And the first one to not sell was this 1968 Honda S800M Coupe, which is something I've never seen before.
It is really cool, really sexy. And it's 68, and it looks brand new, pretty much. It's like a beautiful restoration.
I think we got the convertibles in the United States, and I've seen some of those.
Yeah.
I've not seen an M Coupe, which I say M Coupe, it sounds like a clown shoe, but in Japan, the S800M Coupe is a classic Japanese.
Right. Well, I think they only had convertibles in Japan. And so this is the only hardtop in Japan.
Okay. So it's like a cutesy James Bond Aston Martin, isn't it? Especially in that color.
Back end, it looks gorgeous, beautiful. You don't think Honda when you look at something like that.
No, it's sort of styled after a British sports car, which is when the Japanese sort of did their big invasion, trying to make Triumphs and trying to make MGs and all that stuff, the small sports car, but it could actually go and last for a while down the road,
Look at that little hood bump right there, too.
Yes.
Like, for 1968, that is sexy. That's a sexy ride.
Yeah.
Did you ever think I'd say that about a Honda?
No, I never thought either. I think it's very cute. It did not sell. The range was 8,500,000 yen, grand British yen, which, speaking of like I think I was supposed to be great British pounds, which the last time I did this with a foreign currency, everyone was like, the British people were like, do you think it's called Grand Britain? Really, Tyler? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But the estimate was 8.5 million to 9.5 million yen. So Jake's doing it $50-something thousand maybe.
Okay, so that's not crazy.
That's still a lot for an old Honda.
It's beautiful and beautiful restoration.
So another one that didn't sell. A Mazda Cosmo Sport. I have seen one of these before. It is gorgeous. The original rotary engine vehicle, and it was just so pretty and futuristic looking. Yeah, this one in 1971.
Well, I guess they call it Cosmos because it's still a nod to like the space race where everything was going that direction for landing on the moon.
It looks like, jets, rockets with the taillights. The whole thing, it looks very space age and cool. And that rotary engine is a legend, obviously, but it didn't sell.
Okay.
9 million to 13 million yen was the estimate, so it was not going to bring the $60,000 plus that they thought.
Are we just looking at cars that didn't sell?
Well, I just thought those were cool honorable mentions, but they're not in like the top sellers of the auction.
Gorgeous car. Look at the little gills on the side.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And then this one was the heavy hitter of the auction. It also didn't sell. 1972 Nissan Skyline.
Okay, doesn't the front end look like a GTX?
I suppose it does look very Mopar, doesn't it? It looks like a little baby Mopar. I've seen, some of these. These are around in the U.S. You don't see many surviving. Not certainly the GTR, like the birth of the name here. This is a real, original, R package.
Right.
So Skyline GTR right here.
Well, you know what's wild? Like, could you bid on something like this and get it here? Would that be like crazy expensive? Because I feel like if we knew more about this in America, these would have sold.
It's no big deal because this is over 25 years old, so you can import it, you can federalize it, all that stuff, no problem. You will have to pay some import duties based on what you paid. I don't know the exact amount, but there will be some. But as far as shipping, you're probably door to door for under $5,000.
Right. Because how cool, any of these last 3 cars, I feel like everyone would say, what is that?
Yeah, but this one's pretty pricey though. 29 million to 33 million yen was the estimate, and they didn't get it.
Yeah, well, I guess this is a rare color. They only made about 30% of them in white, and it's at a repaint. It looks really, really cool, really nice. It's just different.
My brain's trying to do the math, and I'm hoping Jake's caption says something close to $250,000 because that's what my brain said. So
that's what your brain said.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about things that sold. Well, the cheapest one to sell was this little Honda Vamos.
It looks so dangerous.
Which they're using, Spanish, like, go get it, like that, for the name of the car. This first generation of, these little micro K cars from Honda. They kind of did the Volkswagen bus nose treatment to it with that spare tire mounted, but not a lot of creature comfort with this thing.
No, it's like a military kind of like basic stripped down. They only made them for 3 years, and they only made them for 3 years because they didn't pass safety inspections. Wild to think that, right?
No, I can see why. So yeah, the K truck as the Vamos didn't come back for decades. Yeah, because obviously they had trouble making a little car that also wouldn't be insta-death in an accident. But this thing, it's very
I just think
basic.
If I'm driving that in the city, someone's going to reach in and just like take my purse or grab my bag or, you know what I mean? Or just shake your hand perhaps or strangle you. It's just very open. The only thing blocking you from any of the elements is the front windshield.
Yeah, well, it's very cute, and it sold for only 2,664,000 yen. 2 million yen.
Which is not $2 million. It is a lot less.
No, it's like under 15,000 bucks. I hope. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then we have a Toyota Corolla, which you think, oh, it'll put you to sleep. But look at it.
The coolest Toyota Corolla you've ever seen.
The 11TE27. So even a customized body looks cool, probably stock, but this looks really, really neat. So it's a custom build of a vintage Corolla built by Pro Shop Ogata in Shikoku, Japan.
I feel like that's not how you say it. That's not how you say it. But I love the little kind of like the little vents on the side of the headlights look really cool. But then you got like these bolt-on fenders that kind of take me out of it a little bit. And just, it's an interesting, cool car. But whenever you get something customized, you don't know if people are going to actually like it.
Right.
So you're taking a risk.
And then the big spoiler. Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of Boyd racered out a little bit, but still pretty cool.
Yeah. Is that street legal? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It sold for 7,770,000 yen. Not bad.
Sounds so expensive.
Right, 7 million yen. No, that's not very expensive. Whatever that is, I don't.
Right.
My brain's quit doing math. So, next one is a Toyota Supra 2000 GT500.
Yes.
Which very, very neat.
How cool to buy this Supra or any Supra in Japan.
Right.
Come on.
So it is basically a race car. Well, it is a race car.
It's a race
so this
car.
Is all it was is.
It's so cool because it's a blank slate. Like you can put any livery you want it, graphics, whatever. It's just like, come get me and customize me, make me who you want.
Right, but definitely not street legal, but certainly a very cool race car. And interesting how they, evolved the Mark IV Supra look. Since it's around the new millennium. But yeah, a basic bare bones race car, and it sold for a lot, 19 million, almost 20 million yen. So yeah, $120,000, $130,000, I think.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That was wow. Now Jake's holding it up so I can see. I was right. All right.
Very good. Yeah, and
very
this one has
good.
a lot of racing pedigree with it too. So it's a really neat spec. I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And it was the most expensive car to sell at their JDM sale.
Yes.
So not many cars. So I thought I'd go back and look. And there's some things that I thought were great bargains at their just normal sale a few months ago. Like this 98. This is more my wheelhouse. A 98 SL60 AMG.
Would you have bought this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
For 6,600,000 yen,
right.
you get a real AMG, not like a AMG factory car after
Right.
Mercedes acquired them. This is one of the tuner built, you know, not pre-merger because they were merged, but still the independent tuning company AMG building this car. This one's sort of an in-betweener because even though AMG had been acquired by Mercedes, they were still for a time building in cars for customers sort of independently. And
Right.
so this is one of the last ones.
Well,
It's
and it's saying it's one of 25 built, so a special edition.
right.
But
So
it also had a repaint, which is not that old of a car. It's a 98. Do you think that's a big deal?
I don't think it matters. 206,000 kilometers certainly matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a high mileage. It was driven. It was used, but it is a really cool hand-built AMG with all the stuff that you get in the 90s on it. The engine hopped up. Very neat for the price, 6,600,000 yen, because they didn't make an AMG SL in this body style from the factory as far as
Right.
like the post-merger. That was not until 2003, I think, with the SL55. Totally different body style, supercharged V8s. So if you wanted the older 129 chassis, well, this was it, and they're extremely rare. And I think 6 million yen, that's, you know, whatever, the $30,000? 6.6 million yen? $38,000, yeah, there we go.
So
Okay.
you think, would you bid
Yeah.
on that?
That's a lot, but I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
So yeah, next one I thought was really neat is the Koenig Special
Right.
Ferrari Testarossa. Koenig is not a Japanese tuner customization. It's European, it's German or something like that. But they love custom cars. They love
Right.
customizing cars in Japan. It's always been a huge industry. So it makes sense that this would be there. And it looks like I'm seeing turbo on there as well. So
That's wild. Well, they took out the side strikes, added a wang
Big
on
wang.
the back, which I am a purist traditionalist, but I respect what they've done to this car.
it's pretty wild. Yeah, and there's what looks like a twin turbo kit, which I have seen a twin turbo Testarossa before, but never with, you know, all the side strike delete and sort of it all smoothed out. I think it looks really cool. I think it looks cool.
It hurts to see the side strikes because that's when you think Testarossa, that's the style that you're looking at. And so you don't look at that and say that's Testarossa.
It looks really neat. It was a big price though. 46 million yen,
Jake.
which is almost 300,000. 298,000. Your brain is
good.
doing the thing. Yes.
Ready, set, math.
Yes. So that was really neat. Testarossa, seeing it modified.
Right.
The most expensive though, this one has been modified because it was a Spider conversion, but
Right.
it is the real deal 1972 Ferrari 365 GTB for Daytona. And they chose to chop the roof off of it and make it a convertible. But I think this was a huge bargain at 51,700,000 yen. We had
Right.
one of these at the January Scottsdale auction that I think sold for $600,000
Right.
in yellow.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the market up here, like $500,000, $700,000 for Spider conversions. Not the real Spider's like crazy.
Wait, the one at Bear Jackson was a conversion?
It was a conversion.
Oh, that's wild.
It was.
Okay, because I think they only made like around 120, 122
Right.
of the convertibles. But here's my question. When they make convertibles, is there special like bracing and things that go into the body to make them safer?
I would
Like,
hope so.
Right?
The reputable ones, I think, would do that to make it better. But no way to tell. It looks really nice.
It's gorgeous. I love those Daytona seats. That's great.
So this was their big sale at 51 million yen.
Right.
Oh, crap.
Let's see if you can do it.
No.
Because we've
I
gone
can't.
through, what, 7, 8 cars
That's
now?
going to be like $380,000, $330,000. No, so okay, I'm getting worse.
okay.
But $330,000, I felt like that was almost half price.
Right.
Compared to what I mean. Condition can mean a lot if it was sitting for a while, because you could easily spend multiple six figures going through this stuff. But still, I know that there's some bargains in Japan for European cars. And now that 25-year rule's happening, you're seeing a lot of pre-merger AMGs, a lot of Lamborghinis and Ferraris coming from there to the US, especially the rare spec weird ones, because Japanese people love like crazy cars.
Right.
And now people in the US, like, they order their Lamborghinis in silver or black or what, you know. So you get to see some crazy specs in Japan. So yeah, I'll keep following the bingo
Right?
auction.
Are we planning a trip there now that these are becoming available?
Unlikely, but wouldn't rule it out. Yeah. Domo arigato for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching.